Good evening, everyone, and welcome to GrayManPrepping. It is time for Survival Saturday. And tonight's topic is stealth cooking. And how's everybody doing out there? Get over here and make sure I can say hi to everybody in case I missed anybody. So first one in was Walt Rogers. And he made a comment of, yeah, so the whole steer barbecue is out. Yeah, I think so. And Phelan said, smoker is out too. Yeah. Next up was, there we go, was CB at Hugo Homestead, followed by Sue Me. Then Pat Small came in, doing some canning vegetables up there in Maine. Kathy D. Salt and Light is here. Ada Neer is here. Diana 2 is here. Little Known Preppers in the house. And those are all the comments we got going on. And I think we have a few lurkers from if the numbers are right there. But lurking is fine, folks. Just make sure you hit the thumbs up. And if you can, at least say, hey, lurking. Northern Girl Hobbies just came in. All right. So I'm trying to remember who. Let's go back and check my my calendar sheet here. I think this one was nope, I forgot to put it on. Oh, I know where I got the it was someone didn't, they kind of recommended it, but they didn't recommend it. Say, hey, you need to go back and look at the and redo the one you did years ago. I called it something different, stealth cooking. So that's what it was. And Took by V's here. And Glenn, How to Garden's in the house. Okay. So when talking about, quote, stealth cooking, there are a lot of things you need to take into account as far as what's going on with you, around you, and everybody else. So let me go ahead and slide over here. I had sent the invite out to a couple people that could, to contribute to it. Some with military background, so talk about how odors impact you in the out in the field. But so one of the things you need to think about is, here's someone. Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Sorry, I was pissing my neighbors off cooking dinner.
Somebody said to tell you not to do your bacon because they'll draw in other people.
Okay. Well, then I'll put a picture of my tuna steak and fettuccine Alfredo with some fresh sliced San Marzano tomatoes and fresh grated Parma. How's that? Is he on here?
Okay. All right. So where are you is one of the things you need to take in consideration if you need to be doing stealth cooking. And by that, it's like, are you at home? Are you on vacation? Yeah, out camping. You're touring the country. When you're using an RV, going around, or just driving around, staying in hotels here, there, and everywhere, or whatever it is that you're doing away from home, or is something, it has something driven you to your bug out location. Of course, for some people, the bug out location is their vacation cabin up in the mountains or out in the woods or wherever. And what other things you could impact where you're at, what's going on, that's going to impact you while you're cooking for some reason. You need to, that all that's going to impact whether or not you're going to be stealth cooking and for how long, whatever else. So what is happening? That is the big one. So what's going on? Is there a short-term event going on, such as a hurricane has come through, a wildfire has come through? Short-term things where the event itself lasts a couple days. to a couple weeks. That's short term. Long-term events is events that are lasting, 2 to 3 weeks and longer, as up to months or maybe even a year or two. Permanent events. All right, we're talking about the end of the world as we know it type thing, where things are changed permanently. Wayne's here, becoming dangerous. Welcome. Yeah, Wayne posted about, he was at the GOA summit there. He posted a video and it was real cool. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights just came in. And this event, how quickly is it happening? The speed of which the event is happening is going to determine stuff. Is it a slow roll? Like, all right, we got notification that there's a hurricane. It's 3 weeks out there in the Atlantic. It's building up big. It's heading this way. It looks like it's going to come through, take out Cuba, and then head right on it up into the Gulf and come up and make landfall between the Panhandle of Florida and the Mississippi River. And so we got several weeks to get ready for it. So that's why that's a slow roll. A fast roll could be like fast rolls fast. Earthquake is different. Earthquake's different. Fast roll might be the thing is, all right, we got to have a storm front moving up through the central states here. Something may be happening here in the next 12 hours or so. And okay, now we got our tornado warning. Fast roll, slow roll could also be an economic problem. Fast roll could be a total 1929 Black Friday. Everything falls down and the entire government falls apart. Hey, Lewis, it's the Marshmallow Man is here. Hours. You're getting something like certain things like some of the tornadoes and stuff could be hours. Other things could be stuff is coming in like oh crud, things are breaking down, this is happening, and things just start, everyone's saying, all right, this is happening, it's going to be coming out at us. Other things on here that could fit into any of these things here could be an asteroid. An asteroid could be spotted out. Okay, an asteroid just passed Jupiter, and we've been tracking it for a little bit. It looks like we've got its path locked in. It looks like it's going to pass from the moon to the Earth, about a quarter of the way from the Earth. So,
yeah, those are the ones they'll tell you about. If something's literally heading straight for us, they ain't telling you.
Yeah. Fast roll is like this one that that's meteor that went by, or asteroid that went by here here a little shortly a little while ago. No one saw it because it skirted the sun and came right at us and passed by. So those are the type of things. Instant, that's your earthquake. Instant could be a dam breaking. Hours could be a dam breaking, could be hours. But instant, just things that happen, boom. And just for those that are they're prodigy of the Cold War era, the nukes are flying. So it's like you don't have time. You don't have time to get ready for it. On EMP could be instant. Of course, now things are getting good with tracking the solar flares and they got the time down pretty good. Within hours of a CME heading towards the Earth to cause an EMP. Yeah, but sometimes it's like it could be like an X100, and you got it's like boom, something just went there, oh crap, it's here, because it's so big and it comes so fast. So these are some of the things that how it's going to happen. How does this affect how you're going to be doing it? Well, if it's happening fast, it gives you a chance to go out and maybe if you're that bold and get more other type foods and stuff. If it's a slow roll and you see it's coming, it's going to be a couple weeks out. It's like, I'm going to get more supplies. Hey, Tammy, how's it going? And so there are there are different things, different events can affect how you're going to respond initially. If it's like hours or instant, or you have it one day and it's like, oh crap, how are you going to respond to determine what it is. The other thing is how others are reacting. All right, example. All right, we've had a minor EMP. When I say minor, it's not going to take down absolutely everything electrical, but the grid has gone down in most areas. So it's not everywhere. So it's not enough to burn all the things. It just stripped a bunch of breakers, blew some substations, blew transition lines and stuff, and just news is still going on. Your satellite TV may or may not be working. You may be getting some information over the internet. You can tell the batteries die in the data centers. And so you're getting information about it, and so it's going to be, all right, things are going to go bad. And so trucking may be screwed up, getting deliveries done. This maybe, all this stuff's going on. And if everybody's going, they're going to have it fixed in no time, and everybody's really blasé about it. There it is, blasé.
Nobody's going to care if you're cooking burgers with garlic.
Yeah, exactly.
In your barbecue in the front yard for the whole world to see. They're going to be like, oh, it smells good. Got an extra one?
Yeah, either that or they're doing the same daggone thing.
Right.
Are they acting urgently? Like, oh crud, we got to take care of you. And they've gone from, what is it? I just lost the directions of the DEF CONs. DEFCON 1 or whatever's the lowest, highest one. They got from 5 to 4, and they're working their way down to 1, up to 1, or whatever it is. If all your neighbors are panicking, running around, oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And the other Tammy's here. Hey, Rebel Canners.
My canners are out in the yard freaking. My neighbors are out in the yard freaking about. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'm still gonna be in the front yard cooking on a barbecue, going, I don't know. Maybe you should have thought about it. Like I told you.
Did I miss Suladine coming in? I see someone talking to them. Yeah, so I guess, well, I'm just looking. I don't see Suladine's comment. Oh, well, someone's talking to Suladine. Anyways, so, utter panic and stuff. And even that has ranges. They're just freaking out, crying, doing stuff. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And stuff. And sometimes urgency and panic can be quelled by you and other people saying, well, hey, all right, your refrigerator's done. Maybe you ought to cook up the food. Maybe you ought to start canning it, cooking and canning as fast as you can if you have it. So, direct them to do something positive. Or they're totally out of control. And this is where your if I want something, I'm going to go out and take it. People are acting up. And what other types of behaviors they can be doing? Now, the out of control ones will become a problem depending where you're at. More of a problem as time goes on. So, but if it's the power's out and nothing, and everyone's going, okay, power's out, but we still got internet. So people with generators and the solar powered little packs for things that they can put out and charge up to charge their phones, but they can also so they can get online with their phones and get news and stuff. And everyone's on the thing, okay, it's nothing raw, and everybody's out barbecuing. Yeah, that's when you cook up stuff, and you also start doing your canning. Anything you have frozen in the freezer, you start canning it. Unless, of course, you have enough solar panels and stuff, and they're all working fine. Then you can, kick that back a little bit. Happy Mac, welcome.
After a week or two, if everybody's out of control that you can see, your best bet, act out of control. They'll leave you alone too.
Yeah. All right, so here's an important thing. What do you smell? Do you smell everybody else cooking? If you smell a lot of smells of a lot of people cooking, it's like, hey, I'm going to get some of my stuff cooked up too, and get where I can, get stuff cooked and canned, whatever else, done with it. If you smell, all right, so if you smell nothing, it's like, okay, nope, nobody's cooking. I don't smell anything. It's like, I don't smell anything, nothing, I'm not going to cook because I don't want to pique people's interest. Now, if you smell smoke, that can be several different things. That could be a grass fire smoke. That could be a house smoke that on fire. That could be someone cooking smoke. And then specifically, if you smell smoke and then you smell food cooking, you know what's going on. Someone's fired up. There we go, back. I caught it before it totally disconnected me. I saw myself freeze and then not go to the fade out there. So yeah, so if you're smelling smoke and then food, that's generally probably what's happening. And so if there's other people cooking, it may or not be safe for you to go outside and cook too. But things are going to change as days move on. Smoke and food right off the bat. But if the smoke changes, things are changing. If you smell lots of food being cooked and you don't smell smoke, let's see, people probably got barbecues going. They got propane grills going. People are cooking what they have because they realize they need to get it cooked. And so they can possibly use it differently. So I'm hoping this all makes sense. Is it making everybody realize, okay, it's not just a cut and dry situation. Things are going to be very fluid, and depending on what the event is that is triggering all of this. So what do you see? You're looking out around, you see nothing. All right, clouds are clear, the sky's clear, maybe some clouds going by, birds are still flitting around, nothing out of the normal. You don't see anything out of the normal going on. You see lots of light smoke, and I think I may be out of order here. It may have shifted on me. Yeah, you see light smoke, then you see just little wisps of smoke and stuff. And you also see lots of little wisps of smoke. That could be different people all over the place cooking, or that could be fires starting up, other type of fires, not non-cooking fires. You see heavy smoke. All right, you got either fields burning, houses burning, industrial centers burning. You got trouble fire. That's trouble fire.
Or somebody walked away from their barbecue with 18 steaks on there, and
that would be
burning food.
Yeah, well, I'm talking heavy smoke. I mean, it's black. It's like, okay, that could be a house burning over there. That's now barbecue. That's a house. You see lots of heavy smoke. That's a bunch of houses burning, or that's like a forest fire type thing outside the area they're burning near you. So, all right. So, with that stuff in mind, there is. Actually, let me go ahead and drop it since the others didn't show up here. In case someone else wants to come up here. So, with whatever the event is it a short-term, long-term? Did it roll up on you fast? Was a slow roll? Did it happen instantly? It's all going to make people react differently. And how the people are reacting is going to determine a little bit the extent of what you can do without worrying about drawing attention to yourself.
Are you going to get into what types of food you may or may not want to cook?
Oh, we're going to get into that here as we go along.
Okay.
So so I want everybody to get their head around the causes to make you have basically your house, inside the house. If you have electric stove that ain't working, if you have natural gas, it may be working for a while, and if the natural gas is still working and it's not an earthquake, but the grid's down, the gas is going to go away in a little bit. It may be a couple days, but because the pumps that pressurize the systems and stuff may be failing. You may have one that's in an area that's still functional, but no telling how long it's going to last. Yep. It says it's not allowed to bring you in, Tammy. Yeah. I don't know if Tammy can hear me or not, but I can't do anything. Oh, it needs to connect your mic cam before I can add you to the stream. So Tammy's having a problem there. I'll have to keep an eye on her down below if she gets it fixed.
Yeah, Pat
Hey,
Small
Savage
said
Lee.
there's people burning trash because they can't get to the dump. Well, that's a good camouflage technique.
Yeah.
Burn your trash and other assorted things that you can't flush, and then just cook somewhere else nearby, upwind from your odor, so people smell a bad odor and they're just like, ugh, I'm not going there. Meanwhile, you're eating, garlic infused steak. And hey, Tammy.
Hello.
So, I see the water stain in the roof.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. I was when I was working for Mountain Cascade, we had a job down in Lompoc, Southern California, down past Santa Barbara. And so we all took trailers down there. I didn't know that my in-laws' trailer had a leak. We had a rainstorm. It
really wasn't. It had a little stain on the roof, so I had a suspicion that there had been a leak at some time. Yeah. But it just decided to, be fun for me.
Yeah.
Go get some of that Flex Seal and slap it on there.
I did before this storm, but I didn't get the right spot yet.
It's probably around the AC unit or something that's sticking up in the it's probably around something that's bumping out of the roof line and it's traveling underneath the edge of the fiberglass.
I got the Gorilla one. I really like it. Add it to your preps.
Yeah.
What I use, because I got a travel trailer after I moved up here out there, and I was staying out in there a while, and it developed a small leak. But I went and just got the spray, the Flex spray. And I just sprayed the whole friggin' area.
See, there's nothing visible on the roof. We were up on the roof Friday.
I sprayed every seam around there, every little thing. I sprayed it, and it sealed it. All right, folks, let's get back to this.
Sorry, back on topic. I came up because I want to talk cooking.
Yeah. All right, so here's what's Kaylin's here. She's in on Facebook. And so she's at the mosque getting set up for an event tomorrow. Now, let's hit so there is a lot of ways to cook, depending what you have. And that's the thing too. If this is a short duration or short-term event, this type of cooking stuff where you heat up the water, you got your bags of freeze-dried food, whether it's homemade or store-bought, you heat up the water. With these, you can use these indoors. You just stay indoor, heat it up, and the smell ain't going to get out.
Yeah. I have the jet boil, and I love it. But it's really hard to find the fuel right now. And the last time I went on the Appalachian Trail pre-big event, I could not find it even in any of the sporting goods stores. And so I actually bought a different one that was a really cheapo knockoff of it that could use any of the canned fuels you can find at Walmart, and I actually like that just as well.
Yeah, I got one that was all right. It was like half the price of the jet boils our troop had. Our troop one had to be lit by a match, didn't have the Pezzo lighter on it. This one was a bigger container, had the Pezzo lighter, and it was half the price. And yeah, it's great, and it could use any type of one you could screw it onto. It could use.
Yeah, yeah, and I like it just as much, if not better, than the Jetboil. And I can use my Jetboil cup with it. You don't have to use it on the Jetboil. So that I keep that right in my go bag.
And that's what's neat about these is you can't smell these things, these type of stoves over here when they're going. There's no odor. There's no odor to them. So you can do water and stuff, and then use the freeze dried bags inside. And actually, just about with the 3 cup, that cup's different, but these 2 cups over here that are actually integrated into the system, that's all you want to heat in those anyways, is water only.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up here. Now, I know people are going to talk about it, so I got this and I put it up. I got this up. The Dakota fire hole. Couple things to remember about a Dakota fire hole. One is wind direction. So you want to have your small hole upwind from the big hole. And if you can, you put a log or a rock there so the wind blowing through it forces air down into the hole to give it a good draft to begin with. Things you don't want to do is in direct line of the wind to the hole, like they have pictured here. You have another big rock with a branch over, so that big rock there is deflecting around it. You want to make sure it has the wind has a clear thing to the intake hole. But yeah, and you, like I said, depending on what size pot you have to cook on it, that dictates how big your pit opening is going to be, and how big your pit opening dictates how big your air inflow tunnel is going to be.
Yeah.
So that's simple. You can always look up Dakota fire hole, and there's some great videos out there on it too, where people dig it, show it, and do it. And Bushcraft Family's here. Looks like they came in on your side, Tammy.
Hi.
Utah Mike is in the house. And yeah, all right. So let's go on from this one here. So this is one I can talk about it, but you really need to find a video where the person is giving a demonstration on how to do it, especially if they give a demonstration of a failure of it.
Well, here's this picture, and it's showing it right next to that tree.
Yeah.
And here's a problem where I live. Tree roots travel, and if you catch a stump on fire, you're going to have a lot more than just that Dakota hole on fire. This was designed for grasslands. This is for out in the plains. It is not designed for the piney northern woods that I live in. That would be that kind of setup would be a disaster.
Yeah, and what it says tree to disperse smoke, and that's if you find something like a big oak trees that are around with the breeze takes the smoke into the oak tree, so it can disperse it a little bit, or into the trees like that. But yeah, you don't want to be near the trunk of a tree.
And this one's dead. I mean, you can see that they pictured a tree that's very dead. Got a big hole there for an owl's nest, or it's that's not a Northwoods kind of setup.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one here. And I forgot to put the other picture in. So this is a type of a rocket stove. Almost, yeah, but it's a collapsible one.
Yep.
So and you can do some of these, but any type of using wood fire like this, you're going to have a problem, and then hopefully that problem will go away. And that is when you're first starting a fire, you're going to have smoke.
You're always going to have smoke when you first start it.
Yeah, and then once you get coals and stuff, you got to remember you got to keep feeding small twigs, branches, whatever into that. Not a bunch at once, little at a time, so it turns into coals, and you stick another one, and you stick another, and you keep the fire going without it producing smoke.
Rocket stoves are their own science because the taller it is, the less smoke you get at all, and you can load it up because the smoke burns. It's a gas, so it burns before the smoke burns. There's nothing left of it except just
it's a natural gas. It's a natural gasifier.
Yeah.
So it's burning.
Now, the other thing along the same lines as technology, and I was thinking about it earlier, and I forgot to get a photo of it. They have those above the ground fire pits that are smokeless because they're engineered to drag stuff back in, so it doesn't produce smoke when you're doing it. They actually, they have those where you can cook on those as well. So, but the problem is with this and any type of open pit, you're going to have aromas going up unless you're wrapping the food in foil and you're cooking it outside and you're carrying the cooked food inside and opening it up inside. So let's go on here. And then, of course, there's these type here. There are some that just take the red canister here. Others have the adapter where they can take the green propane tank adapter, or even the adapter, a 20-pound or a 30-pound tank. These things are neat. They're indoor. They're quote indoor safe because they put out about the same as of a gas stovetop, anyways. So
I have a bunch of those.
Yeah, you don't use these to heat the house.
Now, the only problem with the butane fuel ones, unless it's like 80 degrees outside, is those cans, and it happens to me all the time at the cabin. I get a pot of something boiling, and all of a sudden the flame starts dying down because the can will freeze.
So yeah, and that's the problem with a small can.
Yep. Yeah. So I got a propane mini burner, double burn. I got a couple of those too. Yeah. I just let the big tank out there with the long hose, and I can cook on that and not worry about that tank freezing up anytime soon.
Yeah. So this is one type you have, and I got one sitting on the shelf over here. I wasn't sure if it was still in the kitchen, but then if you really want to be cool and get a sun oven. But it is work. A sun oven is work. You got to be out there. You got to make sure you have line of sight to the sun all the time, and you got to adjust it every half hour or more to keep it focused right. And then when you do cook with these, do not open the pot outside. Take it inside to open it.
Well, and you need to have special pans too. The pans inside are almost always black to help soak up more of the sun's rays. So you're going to want special pans. And again, this is not as useful in the north as it would be in the south.
Yeah.
I've tried these. I've tried the make your own Girl Scout with the foil and the pizza box. I've tried ones that were manufactured. They do not work as well this far north, close to the 45th parallel, as they will farther south.
Yeah.
Hey, back to those little butane stoves for a second. If you live near aside from like maybe you'd find it at Sam's Club, Walmart, stuff like that. If you don't have one of those around, you have one of those. For us, it's like an ethnic market, mostly Chinese food, a lot of Chinese stuff in there, or Japanese, whatever, and every other type of ethnicity you can think of. They always have a kitchen area where they have pots, pans, and stuff like that. That's where I bought mine, and they were cheap, and they're all made at the same company. And they sell the butane cans by that case or the 4-pack, and it's a lot cheaper than going to Sam's or Walmart or Costco, Best Buy, whoever.
There was a long time here we couldn't find the butane. They have the even smaller cartridges. Back when I was working in the professional world in a office job, I had a butane curling iron for my 1 hour commute to work. I got to sleep in just a little bit longer if I could curl my hair in the car while I drove.
Okay.
Just don't drop that curling iron at 70 miles an hour in your lap. That could end poorly.
I did not have any 75-mile-an-hour roads to go on.
No, just twisty, windy ones where you're supposed to be paying attention to the road.
Well, the one road I went on, they used to call Dead Man's Alley for a reason.
Nice.
All right. So getting into stoves, you got all sorts of different propane. You got the butane one here first. You got the multi-fuel one, which uses white gas, kerosene, diesel, gasoline. If you have an older model, it's built to handle the gasoline as well. You have a bunch of different type of propane ones, even the stand-up ones there as well. And in the back, behind the dark green one here, you can see the fire pit with the crank-up grate that you can raise up and down to get your distance from the fire as well.
Sign me up for that one. That's my favorite.
So out here with the propane, butane, you have a choice of different ones you can use. So you're not going to have the wood smoke smell, but you got to be aware of the food smell and how you're cooking it. You ain't going to be cooking it open fire in a cast iron pan and having everybody in 4 miles going, food. Now, moving indoors, if you happen to have a wood-burning stove that is built to actually cook stuff as well, but you have a problem with the smoke unless other people in the area are using their, if they have wood-burning stoves as well, or fireplaces, and people are using the using their fireplaces to heat their house as well. Then you can use, if you have a combination wood burning stove that you can cook on and heat on, then you're up on that. Yeah. All right. And then of course there is your insert fireplace, which is something like this. The only way you're going to cook in that is in a Dutch oven. Seriously, that's the only way you're going to cook in that one is in a Dutch oven. That's after you get it down to coals, so you can control the heat on the Dutch oven. And
that's not going to really heat your house very well. Tried that. I had a little 500 square feet cabin. That will not heat that little tiny cabin.
Yeah.
Did you have the little blower attachment for the vents or no?
No, it did not have a vent. It was an insert that was taken out and just sat out separate.
Gotcha.
It came with the cabin, so it didn't have all the fancy brickwork or anything around it. It was just, an old insert. Yeah. And it will not heat a 500 square foot cabin.
Yeah.
So if you think that will help you, you need to try it first.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Turn everything off. Try it. You need to experience it just once when you're under controlled conditions.
And that's the thing too, is you some of these things you need to practice it. So they say, don't say, "Oh, I know how to cook on this. I can do it." Blah 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 blah. Practice it, because if you're trying to cook outside or whatever on it, and you want to limit the aroma coming off your food, and you do it wrong, you want to do that wrong when it's not a emergency situation.
And I know a lot of people don't, and we'll talk about it. We need to talk about wood one more time when we get to the open fire part.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot. So they're still talking about some good ones on the side there. Yeah. I have my parents' one from back in the early 60s.
Is it blue? Is it light blue?
No.
Or green?
It's green. And it's not square. It's fat in the back and tapers to the front.
Oh, I got the light blue Coleman pump up. That thing went everywhere. I can't even remember how many meals we cooked on that thing with Dad pumping up the little thing, filling it up with white gas, which was stupid money back in the day.
All right. Now we're getting into serious trouble here, folks. If you happen to have 1 or 2 or 3 chest freezers loaded with food, I would recommend.
You better learn how to pressure can.
Exactly.
Or salt cure. You can salt cure. That
Yeah.
doesn't need any refrigeration or heat. You can salt
Yeah.
cure. That's a whole nother science there.
But something like this. Yeah. Oh, all these ones are all vacuum sealed in their food saver / seal meal bags here. And the other ones are wrapped up and stuff. Oh, they got bacon in the second bottom shelf there.
Ooh, bacon.
Bacon. No. Sorry.
Okay, I told you I'm going pork free, and it's really killing me.
You're going
All
pork
right,
free?
here you got
I'm trying.
T-bones over here. You got I don't see any of the beef ribs here. But anyways, if you have freezers full of food, something you may want to consider. I'm trying to remember when we did it now. It's been about 2 months. On Mondays, we've been doing on Camp Pat Family Compound, we've been doing canning. All the sorts of different canning on it. And we did beef, talking about cold pack, pre-cooking the hamburger, just putting the other meat straight in canning and stuff. So yeah, learn to can. You can save money in the short term by getting all that meat out of the chest freezer and unplugging it. So that's something you need to think about. So you're not worried about, I got to cook all this stuff up. Or if you're going to salt a bunch of it, do you have 200 pounds of salt to salt all this meat?
I do.
It's going to take more than 200 pounds to salt that.
Okay.
And you can salt cure meat without the nitrites, and all that stuff too. Like they did 100 years and before, and nobody died that we know of. If they did, it was from probably a bear attack.
Yeah. What is this canning you speak of? Emily? All right.
Back Monday.
Yeah. But Monday one's ties into tonight, so we're going to get to the tie-in here in a minute. But here's beef all canned up, and they decorated with on top of the lid. They went and put paper on it, make it nice. I guess also protecting the lids too. But this is where Mondays is going to be. Mondays is coming in. We're going to be talking on Monday on Camp Family Compound. We're going to be talking about outdoor canning.
That metal grate looks awfully sketchy. Barely hanging on and bowing in the middle.
In the middle, yeah.
It looks like they took the for that grate, they took a shelf out of an old stove.
Yep, that's exactly what that is.
But it wasn't designed to hold a pot with that much water and food in it.
No.
Yeah. So as you can see, they got a pressure cooker on there, and they got the coals on the fire off to the side, and they're dragging coals over. But then in the background here, they got the old enameled canner, and then they got an aluminum pot there for water bath canning as well. So they can do water bath canning or pressure canning outdoors, and we're going to be talking about this in depth on Monday.
I'm thinking if I have time and things go all right, I might even put the old steam canner to work out there on the campfire. But
there you go.
I gotta see. I need a grate. I don't have a grate for it. Not here. Not at this.
Just take one out of your stove.
No.
Head down to the dump. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of refrigerators in there, old ones that have like metal grates in them. You could like stack them up 3.
Yeah. Don't call my backyard a dump.
Not your backyard. Okay, whatever.
All right.
The
so
township dump.
Yeah. So when you if you're thinking about you're going to have to can outdoors, especially if you have a big garden going on and you're harvesting food, and you're going to want to save that food, like canning corn, canning
tomatoes,
peas, tomatoes. anything you're growing out, squash, whatever it is, you may want to play around now and see if you can practice canning water first. Practice canning water. And so what you're going to do is you're going to start a fire at one end. And so where you got the flames, you don't cook or can on the flames. You cook and can over the coals. And you rake the coals forward into it. And we'll cover this more on Monday. But practice it. All right. And so once you get down where you can can the water and they seal right, then you can start canning other things out there. Now the people are going to hate me on this one here, but I'm going to repeat it on Monday. If you're out there outside doing like this, my preference probably is going to be I'm going to water bath.
Yeah.
I'm just going to water bath. I ain't going to worry about damaging my canner and a pressure canner. I got plenty of water bath pots, big ones. I'm just going to water bath and make sure I have another thing out there with water, heating up water to add to the water bath or to make sure it stays at the proper level. And just watch it bubble away.
I'm probably going to steam can because you're also short water and hauling water.
True.
So I'm probably not even going to a water bath. I would prefer steam canning.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Alicia's here. Hey, Alicia. All right. And let's see. And then if you have enough propane and stuff, that's where I would use the pressure canner is on the propane. Make sure of the BTUs of the propane stove. And if you need to, get a diffuser plate for it so you don't ruin the bottom of your pressure canner.
Yep.
But one of these is also good for, you can also put, you can use come on, brain, a cast iron skillet with steak, fish, whatever, vegetables wrapped in foil and do it on the stove that way too.
Yep.
Of course, you got to do it a little bit cooler so you don't overheat your cast iron. But a fire pit like this, where you got the coals, is good for cooking in foil. And once again, you don't open the foil outside. You take it in the house. E. Wood just came in on your side.
Hello.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. Tammy Harder says she agrees with you, Tammy. She loves her steam canner.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've not fired this one up, the old one, and if I can get a good grate out there, I gotta find something. I'm sure I have something in the backyard that I can use. I will get it on the fire.
And these are really great for water bath canning too.
Yes.
And I have a feeling that once we start canning stuff here, we're going to be getting the rectangular shaped water bath canner.
I'm trying to talk my son, who is a welder, into making one for me.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. I know I'm getting near the end here.
Did he freeze? Oh, yeah, he froze.
Oh, there he's back.
Wow, he rebooted. Hello, green screen. And he's muted.
I need a green screen for my ceiling.
You're speaking in sign language, Gil.
All right, there we go. I caught it too late, and the other time earlier I caught it before it did it, so I got to go in here and yeah, it's totally screwed up with as far as the green screen goes here now.
There's only a few words.
There we go. Got it to work. There we go.
There it is. There's only a few words I can understand when reading lips, but I'm not going to say them. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about Kamala.
Oh, I thought you were directing airplanes.
No, I was talking about Camel Toe Harris.
Yeah.
All righty. Shenanigans is here. Hey, Shenanigans. Yeah. So, I mean, whatever the event is that's causing it, and your location where you're at, and what your neighbors are doing, the type of event, whether it's a long-term or short-term as well, all these things are going to determine if you have to cook outdoors stealthily, and if so, for how long.
I'll never forget the first power outage I had at my last house, and I was the only person in the neighborhood that had a generator that could run a generator. And I'm like, seriously? You don't have generators? You are wealthier than I am. And by the next power outage, everybody had a generator.
Yeah. One of the things to consider in cooking is, what are you actually going to cook, especially if it's a short-term event?
Yeah.
Or a medium-term event, you know. And some people go, well, places aren't without stuff for a month. So yeah, in the last couple of years, there's been a lot of power outages that have lasted for a month. Or even, I'm trying to remember how long Martha, old school prepper, was without power in Oregon a couple of years back. I think it was 5 weeks.
Yeah.
5 weeks without power. But they
That can
had
get a little hairy with no generator.
They had generators. They had a power station. They had a hand pump on their well besides the electric pump. They had a rain catchment system for catching water. They used the rain catchment water for the toilets and laundry and stuff. But unfortunately, they had propane. They had propane stuff set up, and so they didn't have to worry about being out where they were at. She didn't have to worry about the smell and the neighbors, because the neighbors were doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in a city, you better be cooking on a rooftop somewhere where nobody can see you, on the highest building.
Yeah. And you in the meantime, if you're in a city, you may want to get to know certain neighbors and get organized so you guys can look out for each other.
And there's another thing you can do. Backpackers have learned, it's called cold soaking. So you can make a lot of foods, and that ramen does not have to be served hot. You can cold soak it. It takes a little longer than hot water, but it will still become soft and edible. Same with oatmeal. Oatmeal is often cold soaked. So there are a lot of things that you can prepare that don't require cooking to keep yourself fed and safe.
Yeah. True. And then you don't even have to heat the water for some of these things.
No, some things you don't even though it says it on the package, you don't necessarily have to heat it. It just takes longer. And I learned that backpacking. So if you look up backpacking and cold soaking, that's another way. A lot of backpackers don't carry a stove because of the extra weight.
Yeah.
For a while there, I thought I wanted to be a ultralight backpacker. And then I realized I like comfort.
Until you started carrying your all-American canner with you everywhere you went.
My niece was laughing at me because she asked to borrow it, and it was on the head of the bed on the pillow next to mine. And I'm like, I sleep with it every night. And she's like, what? I'm like, I'm not kidding. It's on the pillow next to mine in the camper. But
well, it's just because it's space saving.
It is space saving. It's a double bed, and I don't need that much space.
Yeah.
Well, you can always rig up some straps for the handles and, use that big empty cavity to fill it up with stuff and strap that on your back and use it for a backpack.
Yeah, no. I'm still leaning towards the ultralight. I ditched the 20 pound. The first time I went backpacking, and I went 15 miles on the Appalachian Trail, most of it straight up. I learned that 20-pound camera had absolutely no place in my backpack. And if I had not paid $600 for it, I would have flung it off the mountain.
Yeah.
I still considered it seriously.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't need as much as what you think is where I'm going with this. You don't even need, like, I love my jet boil, but I don't need it. I could cold soak if I had to. I don't have to have, you know, I can take those backpack meals and cold soak them.
Yeah. Now, one of the other things that I forgot to mention here was the alcohol burner stoves. And
Yes.
but the thing is, though, do you have enough alcohol to get for those? The other thing I have is a couple of the sterno stoves, and I was lucky. I was working somewhere, and they found in their back room several big boxes full of sterno cans, and they said, "We need to get rid of this." And fortunately, someone said, "I think that's hazmat. We can't just throw that in the trash can." And I'll take it all. I'll take it off your hands. I know how to get rid of it. in my preps.
One can at a time. I'll get
one can at a time. Yeah.
I've also taken where you take the tuna can and you coil cardboard in it, and you fill it with beeswax. That's a reusable kind of sustainable way, and I've used those to cook with before too. You can boil water with those little beeswax stoves that with cardboard, but they're kind of single use. Oh,
Kathy Dean, she didn't just become a member; she upgraded to the survivalist level.
Nice.
So, yeah. I knew I forgot to look at something else here. I've been watching. Camp Patton Family Compound is 113 away from the 5,500 mark in the next giveaway. So, but I forgot to look here at see where I am here on GrayMan, and it's reloading here, and go to analytics.
So you might be there by Monday.
All right. Here on GrayManPrepping, I'm currently at 1,818 subscribers, so I'm 172 away from the 2,000 subscriber giveaway here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, tofu. Yeah, you can cold soak minute rice because it's basically freeze dried rice. Just needs some water.
Yeah.
Cold, hot, whatever.
Yeah. And the same with like potato flakes.
Yep.
You can cold soak those. Overnight oats, you can use milk instead of water if you have it and you're trying to get rid of it. Use it up.
If you have a refrigerator to keep it cold.
Well, yeah,
if
but
it's milk.
If you're going to use it within 4 to 6 hours, doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah.
You know.
So, yeah, I just put up all the emojis that I have for the chat for channel members there. So I got some cool ones. I just added the latest one. I found a good picture of Alita Battle Angel to add. Oh, Mike.
Yeah, that's the rough one.
Yeah. I got one that's but when my wife comes up here, she said we have a couple of cheap ones and stuff, but she says when she we are getting a big really good one.
Excalibur. Just say it. Excalibur. We all know.
Or one of the other one, but basically a good one, big one, a little bit, she's not going to, we're not going to nickel and dime these little cheap dehydrators anymore.
Mm-mm.
Used to be here that I could get one every spring for $5-10 at a garage sale.
Sunbeam and all those. Yeah.
Yeah. You cannot touch them here anymore. They still go, they're going for the same price you'd find them in the stores at garage sales, and you can't find them.
Yeah. All right. Diana 2 and Sumi are double dipping, Tammy.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So, and that's the other thing I was thinking about. For a dehydrator, if you're without power, unless you have a couple solar panels and batteries and stuff, But yeah, you can build a solar dehydrator, but
Or, okay, what they do in Alaska for fish. So if it works for fish, it will work for. They make a hot smoker where they make like a TP frame over the campfire, and then they cover it with a tarp or with um hides if you had them, but a tarp. And they build a little fire in the center at the bottom that then smokes and comes up and smokes the fish and preserves it.
how does that smell?
I'm pretty sure with the fish it smells pretty bad, but
Yeah,
with fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, it would not. You wouldn't have, except for onions, you wouldn't have a lot of smell. So
right.
you could preserve a lot of vegetables
Yeah.
that way. It would be a little bit of a. It'd be kind of hot and smoky, but you can preserve vegetables that way.
Yeah.
Also makes some darn good flavored salts for
You could do your peppers that way. That'd be great. Smoked
yeah.
peppers.
Yeah.
So, as far as the dehydrator going, seeing that there is one of the things is to think about is getting a power station that can handle the dehydrator and a few other things, and enough solar panels so it charges up fully. You can use it all day and it'll charge it up. And it'll be fully charged at the end of the day. And by morning, you can still keep on using it. And that way you can dehydrate a lot of foods and stuff and make those last longer. And that's, and dehydrated food doesn't smell.
There you go. You got the baby jackery. I got the next one up from that one.
It was all I could afford, and it was actually I used all of my gift cards and things to buy it 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years ago now.
Is that a 500 watt, 800 watt, 750?
It's the 240.
That was a little. You know what? That's fine.
Yeah.
Mine's 1,000. It's enough to power my cabin with the little light and the ceiling fan and my micro fridge for one night, and pray the sun shines the next day so I can throw up the solar panels.
This goes
all right,
with
so
me.
we got a couple more people coming in. KS World of Fun, that's Alicia's daughter, Caitlin. And then got Camille and Michael came in on your side there, Tammy.
Oh, thank you.
And she says using her mom's golden harvest from 45 plus years ago.
It'll probably never die.
Those things are so much better and last so much better than the ones that you buy now. And that's sad. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. So I hope everybody got ideas from tonight, both in planning ahead for if you have to, how you're going to cook. I hope a few people got a fire lit under them to start canning some of the stuff they have in their freezer. So can the meat, whatever type meat it is, chicken, turkey, beef, pork, whatever, can it. Get some of it out of the freezer and into jars, because a properly pressure canned jar of meat should last 5+ years
or more.
Yeah, I said 5+. And that's being. I'm trying to be conservative and not go, oh, he's radical, for the AI freak out. But
if you're a rebel, it lasts a lot longer.
Yeah. So and what's now technically anything you're supposed to heat it up again when you take it out of the jar.
Anything low acid, yes.
Yeah. Worst comes to worst, if you're going to starve. Yeah. I'm not advocating it, but I'm saying most people, if they're starving, they're just going to, not worry about heating it up.
Technically, any low acid food you buy in the grocery store, you're supposed to heat up as well.
Yeah.
And do you? I mean, seriously, my son eats ravioli straight out of the jar from Chef Boyardee.
So did I.
Yeah. See, we all do.
Denison's chili.
Yep.
Out of the can.
Yeah, we all
Well,
do.
we eat tuna fish out of the can. Well, some of us do.
At the point that, you know, it was that or nothing, I would be eating it straight out of the can too.
Yeah. So, and what I was going on that is, you know, if you're not heating it up, it's not going to give off a lot of aroma to the neighbors.
Right.
Now, that said, if you do heat it up, an easy way to heat it up where you're not having to use other pans, you use like a double boiler. You put that canning jar in there, and you heat it up in there. And if you're sneaky like me, I would have one of the solar panels, solar stations here going, and I would rewire the switch to the bathroom fan, so it's carrying it up farther before it goes out. You know, it doesn't outside. It's up higher, so it's harder for them to track where the smell's coming from. All right, I'm just checking on that. All right, so we're a little bit over here. Anybody have any questions about, you know, stealth cooking? Anything bugging them in the back of their mind? They might have missed it. You might have asked the question. If I missed it, ask it now, please. And I'm going to get the schedule up here. While I'm waiting on anybody asking stuff, so here's what's coming up. On Monday, all three of us are going to be back here on Camp Patton Family Compound. The topic is canning on a wood fire. And we're going to toss in charcoal briquettes and coal if you get hold of coal, which is funny. Where my wife is, the railroad tracks are just, you know, 5 blocks down. As you can see, we can see the train tracks. The train going there, it goes over into Hercules carrying coal. And there's always coal on that track.
Yes.
Because a door doesn't close all the way on one of the hoppers.
Well, and I live close to the eastern side of Michigan, and all of the coal carrying ships, you can walk the beach for miles and pick up bags and bags of coal that they've mined, and it's fallen off the ships.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound is canning on a wood fire. On Tuesday for GrayManPrepping, getting into a little bit of what I used to do at Homeland Security. We're talking about the limitation of emergency management systems, which is your county Office of Emergency Services, your state's Office of Emergency Management or Office of Emergency Services, FEMA, of course, and if your city happens to have one, them as well, what they can and can't do for you. And so that is what we're going to be talking about on Tuesday. Got a question here. All right. What is the best power station? All right. So budget power station. All right. I'm not going to call a solar generator, because if it is the best power station, it can be charged by solar, or you can plug it in the wall to keep it charged all the time. Tammy likes the Jackery.
Their customer service is above none.
Yeah.
I lost a power cord. I called them because I couldn't find one on Amazon to replace it. And they actually apologized that they couldn't overnight it to me. It would be there next day, not the same day. And they were apologized profusely. I'm like, well, what do I owe you? They're like, oh, nothing. You can't
they make good money on those things. They can afford to send out a power cable every now and then.
I mean, but there was no questions asked. I just wanted to know which one to buy to replace it. They're like, no, we will replace it for you.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about my Jackery is the solar plug is not a standard solar plug. I forget the names of them in that. It's hard to find the name of it. I could probably call them up and ask them. They probably make an adapter to go to whatever you want. But you also don't want to, well, mine's out of warranty anyway.
I do not have the panel for this. I just charge it when I go somewhere in the car. I plug it in and I charge it in the car. And then I just keep it charged. And then I keep it with me and I take it. I've taken it every camping trip I've went on the last 4 years, and I've had no issues. And it keeps my phone charged.
All right. For the best comparative, Minuteman Prep, I've had him up on both my channels here. Ben Gilmore, he has a spreadsheet that you can download from his website. That's what he does. He goes and he gets every portable power station out there, from the lowly little 100-watt ones up to the 240 volt, insane ones that you can practically run your entire house on. And he lists them. He got you on the spreadsheet. He has the positives, the negatives, the cost, customer service for each company. He lists all that on there, and it's all color coded. If it's red, it's bad. If it's dark green, it's good. And so he's that. And so his channel again is Minuteman Prep, and his website is for his business is poweredportablesolar.com. And he, like I said, he sells some of them. He works deals out with these companies that are good. If he works a deal with them, he trusts the company, and so he acts as a broker for them. But he also has generator reviews here. And so he has, and so these go into reviews of different ones, big ones, smaller ones. The Jackery 1500. This is the spreadsheet right there. That's the spreadsheet. See the greens and go into the other colors and stuff.
Yeah, the 1500 will run a coffee maker. Mine will not.
Yeah, and does everything. Well, come on, is it going to show it here on it? He may be updated because it didn't pop up right at the beginning of it. If he's updating, he updates it constantly as he gets new. Okay. Yeah, you just got to go into search now. I don't see it right off, but this is the spreadsheet. It's a Excel spreadsheet, so you can get into it and look at it and stuff like that. So yeah, there's some things I'm working with Ben about getting for my house here. Okay, and please don't call them a solar generator, because they are not a generator. They are a power station. It is an inverter, a charger, and a battery. It can charge from your plug in the wall. It can charge from a solar panel. It can charge from your car. It can charge from a generator. All right, let's see what else we got. I'm trying to keep up on all the comments here. Just came up. Yeah. The one I'm looking at, I will tell you this, the one I'm looking at is the Opus. Because it there's a couple different ones. The Max 2, I'm looking at getting one for my office here, because you can cord charge the both the expansion battery and the unit itself off the wall, so it's fully charged all the time. And we're thinking about getting the Max 5 for hook up for the rest of the house. Let's see here. I'm going to. All right. Carmela, Michael loves the EcoFlow 2400. Get back here to the beginning, to the end here. And yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Make sure, learn to make pour over coffee and save energy. Yeah.
Yes. Pour over coffee does taste better. I actually have a French press, which I love too.
Yeah. Oh, when I went through Wood Badge, which is the premier training for Scoutmasters, one of the guys in my patrol had a jet boil French press.
Yes, I've looked at those. I can't push the button on that. I mean, obviously, I need a laptop before I do anything else. That's my next project, is a laptop.
All right, let's get back to the
that French press would be nice.
To the 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 limitations of emergency management systems. Thursday is the midnight ride. Everything is at 8 p.m. except the midnight ride. Midnight ride is at 10 p.m. Eastern time because it's midnight down in Rio de Janeiro. All right. Friday night on the homestead on Camp Patton Family Compound is organic fertilizers.
Yes.
So we're going back to the garden there on that. And next Saturday here for Survival Saturday, dealing with youth in a difficult situation. And this was a recommended one from a viewer. I'm sorry, build your own, 1.5 hours, 250 watt hours. I built one that has 20 6-volt golf cart batteries in it, and I got 2,100 watts of input on it.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's out in my shop. But anyways, yeah. So when it comes to self cooking, solar is always a good thing to have. Helps you on it for any. All right, okay, folks. I know we're supposed to be over, but I'm going to go on some bonus stuff here for you. Back when I was growing up in the 70s, my parents had this really cool electrical devices around. They had an electric skillet for doing pancakes on. Of course, they had the waffle iron. They had the an electric kebab thing that turned the kebabs. It's all electric.
Did you have the chicken roaster? We had a chicken roaster.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that chicken roaster.
They had all these electrical things. That was before the electrical prices went friggin' bonkers. But if you have enough solar capacity, one of those is something you can use to cook indoors, not outdoors, so the smell doesn't go out into the neighborhood. And of course, there is the toaster oven and the microwave. If you can run if you have enough solar power to power up your power station, you can do microwave and you can do toaster ovens. My oldest son loves doing the Costco frozen pizzas in the in the toaster oven, because it's 12-inch pizza in, boom boom, and he's got his lunch before he goes to work, and he's got half a pizza to take to work with him. So now,
I told you I bought one of those heated lunch boxes. Has like a glass dish you put in there. You can put your food in there. You plug it into your cigarette lighter or your Jackery, and I think it draws 600 watts.
Yeah.
And it just heats as long as it's. I don't know if you want to cook in it, but I can reheat pretty much anything in my truck.
Here's another one that made me think of one. Thermos cooking, where you put the food in hot, seal it up in your thermos, and let it cook.
Cook the rest of the way, yeah. It's like, if you have dry powder soup mixes, put them in there, pour the boiling water, shake it up, let it finish cooking.
Yep.
Let's see here. Oh, that's what I was going back to coal there. Little lone prepper picked up, coal on the railroad tracks. Yeah, you are not going to get scorned here for picking up coal on the railroad tracks. I guarantee you.
I picked it up on the beach and took it home so I'd have a hotter fire in that stove, and it still didn't keep my little cabin warm.
Straw bale cooking?
Yes. Yeah, and compost cooking, where you have the compost and you put it in there. Mother Earth News, issue number 4. Go check it out. How to cook
and you can actually download Mother Earth News PDFs.
Yes.
I'm not sure if they're charging. For a while, they weren't charging for it. I'm not sure if they're charging for it now, but they were.
Yeah. And I can't think of the name of it, but they have these cookers that are like insulated bags that you put it in. That works the same way as the straw, where the straw is in a box. They also have these. You make them like giant bean bags that are insulated that you can.
Well, all I know is all the wood chips and stuff and the greenery that came, leaves and stuff that came off these trees out here. When I started moving the piles of stuff, and even yesterday when I was shuttling a bunch of the leaves back to the leaves, the wood chips and leaves choppings back to the garden, I was digging out. I was digging into the pile with my tractor. It was just steaming out of this. That was nice and hot.
Yeah, you can take a copper coil and put it in your compost and actually heat water.
Yeah. Well, heck, I remember back when I was 8 years old, about 8 years old. My dad had bought some green alfalfa for the horses, and had it in the barn, and all of a sudden it caught fire, and it's like nobody was out there. Me and my brother, we were at school, and then we were in the house doing homework when it caught fire.
Yeah.
And my mom said, yeah, I was all hollering at them, so we didn't get blamed for that. Fire department tried to blame us for it, and they go, no, they were in the house. And then as they pulled some of the bales apart, it flared up again. They go, oh, spontaneous combustion.
Yeah.
So yeah, bales of hay can get really hot. It was getting the moisture content right will start decomposing and get really hot.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up now. We've gone 20 minutes past what I wanted to. Don't want to keep everybody up too late there back east. So that's what's coming up here for the next week. It's Saturday was dealing with youth in the difficult situations. All right, everyone. If you have any questions, down at the bottom of the description is the email. You can email me there, and for any questions you have, if you didn't want to post them here. And for those that are channel members, there's certain levels of channel members for either here or Camp Family Compound. There is one-on-one live private questions. So we can do this live, and you'll pop up on the screen like one of these two here. So that's one of the bonuses of being a channel member. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out doing anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, clothing. Learn a new skill like canning on a wood fire, and expand your garden. Get your fall garden in the ground now. Yep. All right, everyone. See you around.